Hi, my name is Taylor Rummel here for Stellar Radio. I'm joined with Sarah Bratan, the Career Services Specialist here at Fanshawe College. My first question for you is, how should people prepare for an interview?
Oh, the best way to prepare for an interview is practice, 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 most definitely. There are a number of questions that employers invariably ask at some point in the career development process. Why do you want this job? Something as simple as that. And some people can get really caught up and tripped up by that. So practice an answer. You don't want to rehearse, but you do want to have a good answer for that. Things like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Tell me your strengths, and of course the nasty one, tell me what your weaknesses are. Those kind of things. So those are the best ways to anticipate the kind of questions. The other thing is that we have something called Interview Stream, which is fantastic software on our Career Services page that helps students feel like they're being actually interviewed. It's a simulated mock Skype interview. There's more than 7,000 questions loaded in the software, which is amazing, and you can tailor it to your industry or leave it generic. They ask you various questions, and the great thing is you can record it and play it back. So you can get to review, how did I do? Did I stumble here? Do I need to work on this? The other great thing is you can forward that on to somebody else to get their input. So it's a really great tool.
And just lastly, where was that located?
Interview Stream is on our Career Services page, so it's fanshawec.ca/career services.
Okay. And how much knowledge of the company should one know before they go into the interview?
Absolutely everything. They need to know everything they can about the company. In today's world, there's no excuse not to do your research. You can do it on the way to the interview on the bus, for goodness sake. So I was just talking to my boss about this morning, that she's interviewed thousands of people throughout her career, and she always asks, for instance, this department, tell me what there are 4 different sections to my department. Tell me what they do. And it's surprising that people come in and have no idea. Like it's kind of scary.
Yeah. And how would people calm their nerves? Like, I know a lot of people kind of might mess up because of their nerves. So how can they calm those before going into the interview?
Well, just by going back to that first question, how do you prepare? Practice. The more you practice, the better you're going to feel about it. Doing things like Interview Stream, practicing with a roommate or a friend or boyfriend or whatever it is. The more you do it, obviously, it's like anything, the more you do it, the better you're going to become at it. But employers know, especially recent and new grads, they know you're coming in. It's one of the first big interviews you've had. It can be very, very intimidating. And they know that. They're going to, work with you on that. And one of the best things I've told students, and I know students have done this as an icebreaker, walking in and say, I am so nervous I didn't sleep last night. And it can really break the ice. Okay.
Yeah. And what are some things people should avoid doing maybe in the interview?
Lots of things that you should avoid, and they're all the things that we learned in grammar school, basically. Don't chew gum in the interview. Fidgeting, obviously, playing with your hair, playing with your pencil, coming across rude or uninterested can really be a deterrent. So you've got to watch your body language. If you are a nervous person, like here I am talking constantly with my hands, but which would be probably acceptable in an interview. But if you are going into an interview and you are the type of person that gets nervous, I always tell students, take a portfolio. Tell them, do you mind if I take notes? It's really shows that you're methodical and that you are confident and you're ready, you're ready to go, and you're taking it very seriously. Body language is very, very important in an interview. You want to make sure that you are looking like you are interested in the job and that you're there because you want to be. Sometimes, we get feedback from employers saying students come in, they look like, that first of all, unprepared, like you were saying, they know nothing about the company, and they come in with shirts they're not ironed. Things like that you don't think is a big deal, but it is a big deal to an employer because, they're giving you an opportunity. If you're not going to be respectful of that, they have problems with that. Yeah. So go in, be confident, don't fidget, take a pad of paper. I always tell students to take a pad of paper and a pen. say, do you mind if I take or write down questions, and also have questions for the employer. So those are some of the things that you should do, and some of the things that you should avoid. Dress is always very, very important. As little skin as possible. Never shorts. It doesn't matter what you're interviewing for. Always go in formally, dress for the position that you want. It doesn't matter if you know everyone at the table, you take it seriously. Attitude, have a great attitude going in, those kind of things.
Okay. And what are some good questions that people can ask the employer in the interview?
That's a great question, and you definitely should go in with questions for the employer. It can highlight the fact that you have done your research, that you do know about the company, asking them something about, for instance, Fanshawe. Let's say you were coming here for an interview. So tell me about, I understand that with the new building downtown, that hospitality and the IT schools are going to be moving downtown. Does that mean that your department's going to move over to a different department? You do want to do your research. You want to be able to show that you have done your research. So some of the questions should be based on that. If they've been in the news, you want to maybe bring something up about them being in the news. Ask them about their management style. Ask them, where do you see this company in 5 years? Things like that. Ask them if there's opportunities to keep learning and what opportunities for advancement there are, those kind of things.
Okay. And then how should someone go about following up after the interview happens?
Follow-up is so important. It really can make or break the interview. Okay. So if you feel you've had a great interview, follow up. Let's find out, how did I do? And be sure to ask at the end of the interview as well, when do you expect to make a decision? If you haven't heard from them in that time frame, you certainly want to follow up again. But just an email is certainly acceptable in today's age. LinkedIn, a message on LinkedIn. It was so great to have met you. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. A phone call, certainly dropping by. Sometimes dropping by, it depends on the situation. Everything is dependent on the situation. There's no black and white, but read the situation and do what you feel is best. But the biggest thing is definitely follow up.
Okay. And then job postings that might not have like a name to them as to who you should be contacting. Would you recommend that you use to whom you may concern in the cover letter, or how would you go about that?
I would recommend to whom it may concern in the cover letter if you don't want the job.
Okay.
How does that sound? Because seriously, to whom it may concern, it only concerns you, right? So get off your butt and find out who the hiring manager is. It really shows some gumption. It really shows that you've got the fortitude and the initiative to find out who it is.